Welcome to the news on Canal at 4. It is Monday, the 3rd day of April 2017. I am Elie Smith. The headlines. A strange illness is affecting cow herders in the Mungo division. And here in this news, Maureen D will be telling us more. And in the southwest region, FENESCO A Games has started in Buea. More than 2,500 athletes and some 500 officials are present. But one thing is certain, it appears the majority are French-speaking. And then some said there were no Anglophone problems in Cameroon, but the striking lawyers have or seem to have been vindicated as ENAM, that is the National School, Advanced School of Magistracy, has now created a common law section. Those were the headlines. The fear of the unknown is now reigning in Mboroukou, a small village in the Mungo division, after a strange illness continues to affect children, mostly the children of cow herders, popularly known as the Bororos. 17 children have been attacked so far by the strange disease, which mostly affects or deforms the legs. Ndi Maureen has more.
There is total sadness in Mboroukou, a small village in the Mungo division, mostly habited by the Bororos. The entire village has been attacked by a dreaded disease which affects mostly children, deforming their legs. The most vulnerable are the Bororos. Nguem Guillaume is an inhabitant. He says he had informed the doctor who told him to take photographs of the affected children. That was how the doctor took the problem very serious. He asked for specimens, which he took to Centre Pasteur. Polio came out negative, he emphasized. They finally discovered it was another virus developing in the children. For 6 years and without knowing the cause, the disease continued to spread in the village. 17 serious cases have been registered. The heads of the Melon District Hospital, after carrying out research, discovered there were particular worms in the bones causing the infections from the knees downwards. The disease affects mostly children aged between 4 and 20. The Bororos community in Mboroukou is in tears, afraid of seeing their loved ones die from what they call a strange ailment. They have called on the authorities to act now and save lives.
Well, a strange kind of disease, which we hope that some treatment will be found. And back as I announced at the introduction of this news, that athletes representing schools from all the 10 regions of Cameroon are meeting in Buea for the 19th edition of the FENESCO League A School Games. Our reporter, Regina Fongia-Leke, was there, and she paints the picture.
The 19th edition of the FENESCO League A School Games has been launched at the just completed Mboroukou Omnisport Stadium in Buea. The event, which took place on Sunday, April 2nd, 2017, brought together hundreds of athletes from Cameroon's 10 regions to compete in 10 disciplines.
2,200 athletes from all the 10 regions, and we have above 500 officials who are accompanying these athletes, including all the other people who come with the minister. We're talking of 3,000 officials and athletes who have come to this town for these games.
Holding under the theme School Games and the Fight Against Moral Decadence, the opening ceremony was attended by top government dignitaries, including the Minister of Secondary Education and the Minister of Sports and Physical Education. In his opening address, the Minister of Secondary Education, Jean-Ernest Ngale BBA, urged youths to participate fully and make the nation proud, as the indomitable Lions just did in the last African Cup of Nations. He also called on the young people to take a stand against vices like drugs, teenage pregnancy, and moral decadence. The president of the National Executive Bureau of FENESCO, Mandeng Samuel Rigobert, said Organizing the game is challenging, but he is happy with the turnout.
Put all our diligence together about through the sport to give example of unity, of tolerance.
Olympic champion Francois Mbango is the matron of this year's games.
He chose it to be a role model of this 9th edition of FENESCO Games. I'm very, very proud of that, and I thank the Minister of Secondary School to choose me for that. And I think that the youngest athletes, the youngest people need to have a model, and I'm proud that I have a good model for him, and I will continue to help him with my foundation, Africa Jump Foundation. I will try to be near and to encourage them and to show them how to work hard to have become a champion.
The event was animated by traditional dances, sketches, an opening football match between GBHS Limbe versus Lycée Technique Clamobaf of Bafia. Students were visibly excited to be in Buea for the games and looked forward to celebrate victories during these games, which runs from the 1st to the 8th of April.
Well, while the games is on, we note that, according to our reporter who was there, Regina Fongia Leke says the participation this time around has been timid, and because of the ongoing unrest in the Anglophone region. And because of that unrest as well, brilliant athletes, some of them have not taken part, especially those from the southwest and northwest regions. For more, once again, details with Regina Fondia Leke.
The ongoing problems in the southwest region has not stopped Buea from hosting the FENESCO A Games. Though the event is filled with pomp and pageantry, most observers have been quick to note that this year's games register less participation given the current Anglophone crisis rocking Cameroon's two English-speaking regions.
Yeah, this year has a peculiarity, considering, and it's no secret to anybody, that we're passing through a very turbulent time in the country, especially in the Anglophone regions, northwest and southwest region. So, but it has a particularity in that things are not normally the way they are supposed to have been. Perhaps the best athletes are not there if they have English expression, and it's no secret. You talk about the mission schools that could have given us some of these wonderful athletes. They have not taken part.
The event is holding under tight military presence, and officials from the Ministry of Youth and Civic Education have distributed tracts to students with messages calling for peace and patriotism.
We are in charge of bringing the culture of peace in our nation. We're encouraging that. And then the next thing we want to do for these secondary school games is to make sure that we fight against non-civic behaviors. And so we have a campaign all through this week to talk about non-civic behavior. For example, no to terrorism, no to fighting, one sportsmanship, encourage people to sing the national anthem of Cameroon. That's why we have even the flyers, so that we can encourage everybody when they're singing the national anthem, we give them so that they can learn about the love of their country and so forth. So we have a lot to sensitize the public.
I expect my school to win and for all of us to take part in it. As we have taken part, let's be happy, let's keep on.
Students from Francophone sections are happy participating in the games, but had wished their Anglophone peers could be fully represented like in previous editions.
From the southwest to the littoral is just a stone, okay, just a walk. Where you have, as you may know, Mr. Alain Batongue has been elected as a vice president of the African Union Economic and Social Council. Alain Blaise Batongue, after his elections, had to open up to the press to express his challenges or the challenges that lies ahead. He talked with our Kejang Henry Atembe in an exclusive interview that follows.
Of course, with great pleasure, and I want to pay tribute to Mr. André Fotso, the former president of CHICAM, who first encouraged me to present my my candidature, my application to be elected as member, first as member of that General Assembly of ECOSOC. So when I arrived in Cairo, and then it was presented to us that there will be elections, I said, so why not? I couldn't present my candidature for the presiding officer function because one of my elders, Mr. Akehemuna, has already been presiding officer of that institution, and in our statute, the same region cannot have another presiding officer unless other regions have already experimented that. Yes, that you are certainly aware. ECOSOC is an advisory organ of the African Union. That is within his structures made of civil society organizations. First of all, we have to establish national chapters of that institution in those countries where I have to be, really present now, all those countries of Central Africa. We have to popularize missions of ECOSOC because many civil society organizations doesn't even know what is ECOSOC and what are the missions of that institution.
Well, we congratulate Alemba Tonge from one nomination or promotion to the other. This time around, he was the senior divisional officer for the Vuri. And now he has just been promoted to the rank of the governor of the center region. And who can that be? If you have not been following the news, let me inform you right away. His name is Paul Nasiri Buea. Informed you right away. His name is Paul Nasiri Buea. He is now the newly officially installed governor of the center region. He was recently officialized by Rene Sadi, the Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization. And Beatrice Ngamo and her team were there, and they filed us back this report.
Is the new governor in charge of the center region. The new man who was appointed by a presidential decree on the 13th of March 2017 is a man of experience, a man who is expected to use his experience to better manage a center region which is having government ministers.
You are fully aware, I have no doubt, of the importance of this region, as well as of the delicate nature of your new mission. You are equally aware of the fact that Yaoundé, the headquarters of the center region, doubles as the seat of national institutions and of diplomatic bodies accredited to our country. Thus, Yaoundé serves as one of the major showcases of our nation.
Paul Nasiri Buea, who was senior divisional officer for Vuri in the littoral, is recognized as a man of experience.
In that regard, Yaoundé deserves the attention and consideration required by its status. I therefore urge you, in the discharge of your duties at the helm of the center region, to pay particular attention to Yaoundé in terms of security and in terms of facilitating the realization of development projects.
Born in 1964, Paul Nasiri Buea, who is taking over Joseph Otto Wilson, who passed on some 4 months ago, is determined to chip in his own best in nation building. We wish him the best, as the Minat boss, Rene Emmanuel Sadi, has called on all political parties, divisional officers and senior divisional officer, police and gendarme officials, that they have to help Nasiri Buea in his new functions as governor of the center region.
You may have corrected it yourself. It was not Beatrice Ngamo, but our one and only Clarkson Tabi. And from Yaoundé, we're coming back here in Douala, where youth of the New Bell neighborhood have been schooled or called upon to take their distance from insecurity. And one way to roll them back from insecurity is to encourage them to get involved in something such as computer applications, because insecurity in New Bell is already causing a lot of havoc. Ndi Morin has more.
Insecurity remains a crucial problem to inhabitants of New Bell, a popular neighborhood in Douala, Cameroon. People are robbed in broad daylight. Pickpocketing has also gained ground. It is also common to find individuals fighting with machetes and attacking others with dangerous weapons. These happenings has caused the population to fear for the unknown. The youths have decided to address the problem. They want to start by identifying homes and other sites suspected to be hideouts for thieves. We are all aware that of recent there were attacks in New Bell involving youths from different quarters. That's why it's so important for youth to come together and talk about their problems. Vigilante groups have been multiplied. Each has specific roles to play in the fight against rising insecurity in New Bell, as prescribed by Littoral Governor. We have asked to see the Governor and plead for the release of youths who are presently locked up in New Bell. Just a stone throw at an ancien étage, some people are acquiring knowledge on information technology, a program supported by ASEMDEC. We have decided to accompany 200 youths. We have started with 70. It will continue to progress. The program seeks to train youths, giving them skills in computers. This makes them ready for the job market and removes them from poverty. The objective is to accompany youths come out of frustration and face their future without fear.
At the beginning, some said there weren't any Anglophone problems in this country. But at the end, those who were striking have been vindicated as the Minister of Public Service and Administrative Reforms, and also the Director of the National School of Magistracy, abbreviated in French as ENAM, have been instructed to create, 56 years after, an Anglophone section, or to be precise, a common law section at the National School of Magistracy. There were other instruction or recommendation given that only Beatrice Ngamo can tell us more.
Draw up and submit a draft bill to the head of state, amending the organization and functioning of the Supreme Court for the inclusion of a common law sector that will permit English language section of the Supreme Court and courts of appeals in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon to hear cases in the English language in compliance with the law. Minister Laurent Esso also received instructions from hierarchy to create a common law bench at the Supreme Court and a census of judicial and legal officers of English expression with a view to increasing the number of English-speaking judicial and legal officers at the High Court. Aims at instituting panels that will entertain appeals in English language against judgments rendered in English. This are amongst the measures to be taken by the state to provide answers to claims presented by some lawyers relating to the functioning of the judiciary. All instructions from the head of state, which the Minister of State for Justice and Keeper of the Seals announced during a press conference March 30th in Yaoundé. It also came out of the press conference that the Minister of Higher Education, Jacques Famdongo, is expected to set up the Faculty of Legal and Political Sciences at the University of Buea, the setting up of the Department of English Law in the University of Douala, Marwa, Ngaoundéré and Chang, similar to that the University of Yaoundé-Toussoua, and the teaching of public law in University of Buea and Bamenda. The Minister of Public Service and Administrative Reform, Michel Ange Anguin, and the Director of ENAM, Linus Toussaint Medjane, all present at the press conference, were instructed accordingly to ensure the setting up of a common law section at ENAM, recruitment of a bigger number of Anglophone teachers at the Magistracy and Registry Division of ENAM, amongst many. Solutions instructed by the head of state to come out of claims by Anglophone lawyers who have been on strike since late 2016. This in answers to the cries related to the functioning of the judiciary system and claims of marginalization of common law. Amongst the many answers by the head of state is a special recruitment of English-speaking people's judicial, legal officers, and court registrars over a period of 4 years based on quota.
Rigobert Song Hanak, the emblematic captain of the Cameroon national team, is back after 6 months of illness and convalescence in Europe. And at the airport, that is in Malawi International Airport in Yaoundé, there was a joyous team who came to manifest their loyalty to their idol as they prayed when he left. Beatrice Ngamo and Francis Nkepong was part of the team, and now she files us this report from Yaoundé.
Manyang is on his feet, in good health, but above all, very smiling. Rigo, touched by the mobilization to welcome him. Evacuation out of Cameroon was last October 2016. The emblematic captain of national football team is coming from far, from a cardiac attack, and after 6 months of treatments. Arrival in pomp and fanfare at the Yaoundé Simalen Airport last Saturday night. The former captain of the Indomitable Lions, Rigobert Song, started by thanking the public, but above all who contributed to his restitution to form.
Non, je me sens très bien. Vous-même, vous vous rendez compte que je suis totalement différent de celui qui était parti il y a quelques mois. Donc, vous imaginez bien, je suis très en forme et je tiens à vous remercier déjà que vous soyez venus me voir. Remercier aussi le peuple. Okay. Vous avez vu, tout à l'heure, ils ont été présents. Sans oublier le chef de l'État aussi.
Il va vous en parler. Pour le projet, il va vous en parler bientôt. Il va faire les déclarations.
Je continue mes activités.
Félicitations.
Ok.
Avançons. Il faut qu'il parte. Vous allez l'étouffer. Doucement.
To the public who made it to the Yaoundé Simalen International Airport, Manyang expressed his gratitude through warm handshakes and waves. High-level security arrival, some 30 minutes of not easy communion, and this is Rigo, who leaves Simalen on the ovation of his many fans. The former captain of the Indomitable Lions, Rigobert Song, is back. His stay, we are told, continues this Monday with a stop at the Ministry of Public Health, the Yaoundé Emergency Center, Curé, at the Yaoundé Central Hospital, where he was before his evacuation. A grand Thanksgiving Mass is also programmed Tuesday at the Yaoundé Multipurpose Sports Complex.
Well, it is on that joyous note from the captain of the Cameroon, former captain of the Cameroon national team, that we will be putting an end to this newscast this afternoon. Today at 8 p.m., you will be in the company of Henry Kejang Atembe. Tomorrow is another day, God willing.